What's up, Thrive? How is everybody? So we got people making their way. I see you guys back there. Come on in. Let's get this started. So I want to gauge the room real quick. How many of you guys are here because you want to know how to make more money? Make some noise. How many of you are here because you want to know how to make money and make it matter? Make some noise. Okay. And how many of you are here just because you think Cole and Sonia and the Thrive Tribe are amazing? Make some noise. I love it. So, as people are making their way back in, I don't know why my slides are just going through. You guys better make that stop. Here we go. Awesome. So, you guys are here because you want to know how to make money and make it matter. And before we get into the real focus of my speech, which is going to be on the missing marketing link in your business that's holding you back from having the income, the impact, and the influence that you want to have. But before we do that, raise your hand if you're a parent. Got a lot of parents in the room. So for the parents especially, you can imagine the look on my parents' face when I told them I wanted to be a professional paintball player. Now, if you've played paintball, you know it hurts. And my mom was like, as a kid, you're not gonna go travel the world and play paintball, give me a break. And at this time in my life, I had literally quit everything I had ever done. And so my parents were like, look, this isn't just getting you a basketball. This is expensive. Every time you go, it's hundreds of dollars. How do we know you're not gonna just quit? Well, luckily, as a child, I think this is the time in our life when we're the most persistent. And then something happens to us where society conditions us to no longer have as much persistency to go after the things we want, to go after our dreams. Now, luckily, as a child, I was still very persistent, and I had loving, supporting parents, so they did end up getting me into the expensive hobby of paintball. And it's a good thing they did, because within just 4 years, I had made over $300,000 in cash prizes in high school, and I traveled 250,000 miles around the world to Amsterdam, Paris, Germany, Belgium. We got a slow clap here. So it was an amazing time in my life. But then somebody came into my life that changed everything. Make some noise if you know who this guy is. For those of you that don't know, this is not just the guy from the movie Shallow Hal. He's also a perfect example of what it means to achieve your full potential with a personal brand, make a ton of money, and more importantly, make it matter. Now, at 18 years old, Tony Robbins changed my life because he told me 3 things. He said, you must find a purpose that's greater than yourself, you must grow, and you must contribute. He said these 3 things to me that day at 18 years old on a YouTube video, and it resonated with me so much that it literally changed my life, because at 18 years old, I wasn't doing any of these things. I didn't have a purpose. I wasn't growing. I wasn't contributing. And so I made a decision to commit to figuring out how to do these things, to go on the journey of self-mastery, which never ends, and to ultimately follow in the footsteps of the mentors that I grew up learning from. To be a coach, a consultant, an author, a speaker, an online marketer, and inevitably, I wrote a book. I made it a bestseller, because that's what you got to do, right, guys? So I wrote a book, made it a bestseller, and like you, I've invested a lot of money in myself, as many of you have, from the books to the events to the digital programs to the $25,000 days for people to help me, the top consultants to help me with my business, and in many, many different mastermind groups. And a great example and opportunity of a mastermind group for you guys would be the Thrive Connect. I'm actually going to be there, so I look forward to seeing anybody who is in the program. But more importantly, after investing all of this money in myself, it helped me land my own TV show, Business Rockstars, where I've had the privilege and opportunity to interview 1,000 millionaires up to billionaires and celebrities. It's allowed me to be featured in all the biggest business publications in the world, like Forbes and Inc. and Entrepreneur Magazine. I've gotten my TV show on 10 million Delta Airlines seatbacks, so if you're flying Delta, look at our show, Business Rockstars. And now we're going to go into every airline in the country. But the reason why I share this with you is because after going through all of this, what I can share with you is the number one reason that entrepreneurs fail is because nobody knows who you are. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, how many of us have heard the old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know? Raise your hand if you've heard that. We've all heard that. And we've all been lied to. Yes, obviously, of course, what you know and who you know plays a role in your success. But there's a third level that very few people that are successful ever talk about. Who knows you? So to give you an example of this and to show you the power of when people know who you are, a perfect example is a recent person, Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, just got $1 billion for a lifetime contract for his social media because last year in 2016, he made $500 million for Nike just last year on social media alone. Zero marketing, just based off of his 100 million followers. And ironically, talking about the power of getting people to know who you are, while screenshotting this for you, Tai Lopez's ad pops up. You can't hide from the guy. So the question you should be asking yourself is, what the heck is KLT? Well, it's when you get people to know you, like you, and trust you. When people know you, it's because you have what we call an omnipresent strategy. You're everywhere. You're like Tai Lopez. You can't hide from the guy. When people like you, it's because you've helped them in some way. You've added value. You've made a difference in their life. And when people trust you, this is where you have influence. This is where you get money. So conceptually, it looks something like this. This is our marketing funnel for content. At the top, you get people to know you, and then you bring them down the ladder of liking you and trusting you. I'll show this again later, so don't worry, and we'll go through more of it. But basically, the essence of what this is let's just say that you have 1,000 people who know you, 100 people who like you, and 10 people who trust you. Now, if we don't worry about the fancy strategies and tactics, which we're going to cover, and we just dumb it down to the law of averages, which would state that if 1,000 people know you, 100 people like you, and 10 trust you, in that same proportion, if we do nothing but get more people to know you, and now 1 million people know you, in that same proportion, law of averages would state that with nothing being different, just more people knowing you, 1 million people know you now, that 100,000 people will like you, and 10,000 will trust you. So we can literally do nothing different but just get 1 million people to know who you are. They know your business, they know your face, they know your name, they know what you stand for, they know what you offer. If we just get 1 million people to know you, you will make a lot more money. But what does this actually mean? Well, somebody did a study on this, and it's called the Dunbar Top 150 theory. And it basically stated that you and I, your customers, your prospects, can only actually remember 150 businesses, brands, names, people's names. And to put this theory to the test, when I say, you guys just shout out the first company that comes to mind when I say cheeseburgers. I heard McDonald's, maybe In-N-Out, maybe Burger King, mainly more McDonald's. On this side of the room, they must be hungry for lunch. So the point is, whether you said McDonald's or In-N-Out or Burger King, there was still only going to be 3 or 4 cheeseburger companies that anybody said. Now, usually they shout McDonald's, and that's what was louder to me. The point is, those were still only 3 or 4 companies that owned the room. How many millions of cheeseburger companies are there? So what I'm going to share with you is how you can be, when I say your industry or your product or your service, how you can be the person that everybody shouts the name of because they always know you. You're not just in the top 150, you're in the top 3. So again, it looks like this. You've got 80% of the people in your target audience not even considering buying from you for the next 12 to 18 months, so you need to nurture them. You need to get them to know you, so when they move down the funnel to finally looking to make a purchase decision, which 17 to 18% of your audience is looking to make a purchase decision, in the next 30 to 90 days, they're comparing your business and offers against your competitors. Now, when you get them down to the last part of the funnel where they are in the 2 to 3% range, 2 to 3% of your audience is ready to buy now. The question is, if they don't know about you or like you or trust you, they ain't gonna be buying from you today or this week. 2 to 3% of people in any industry or segment are literally going and buying something at the store today, on their phone today, over the phone, on the computer. So what we talk about today is how to get people in that funnel so that at any point they're thinking about you, and eventually they're going to be ready to buy from you. So it looks something like this. This is our 3 pillars of monetizing content. You can see the circle right now. The left pillar is content, the middle pillar is audience, and the right pillar is advertising. Today I'm going to talk to you specifically about how to leverage content to build a personal brand and impact millions of people and bring them into your funnel in a different way than most people teach. So again, just conceptually, we're going to be talking about this left pillar over here, content, running it to different audiences. By the way, this is only about awareness and engagement. Content is only about getting more people to know you, like you, and trust you by adding more value to them, not selling them. Then you run ads with remarketing pixels based on the content of the audiences that have engaged with it, and then you run your ads to it. So it looks something like this. We run our content to audiences for 10 times, 100 times cheaper for the alignment of the algorithm. Great content on the context of the social media platform where people consume content, and based on their level of engagement, we then put them in a pixel bucket and remarket our ads to them for 10 times cheaper and way more profitable. So to put this to the test, let's talk about content versus ads so you can really see it. Here's an ad where I spent about $350, and I only got 7,500 people to engage with it, and 14,000 people reached. $350 reached 14,000 people. In this piece of content, $523 reached 156,000 paid, but it really reached 250,000 because I got another 92,000 organic. Because you're going to reach a lot more people with content. The algorithm doesn't like when you try to shove advertisements and links to take people off of Facebook. That's not what the platform is for. It's how Mark Zuckerberg makes money, but that's not what the people go on there. We don't go on Facebook with our credit card in our hand. We don't go on YouTube or Instagram with our credit card in our hand. Yet we've all been sold on selling our content, selling our ads, our products on these platforms where nobody makes a conscious decision to go and make a purchase. We've all been told to build a large email list, but how many of you go to your email when you make a conscious decision to consume content? Nobody's hand went up. So why are we building email lists to nurture people with our content when none of us raised our hand that we even go to our emails to consume content? Why did nobody raise their hand that you go on those social media platforms with a credit card to make a purchase decision, yet we've all been told to sell our products on these sites? Now, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm not saying it can't make you a ton of money and impact. What I'm saying is there's another way, and we found that it works a lot better. Another example of an ad, and these are small ones, so nobody in the room can be like, well, you spent way more money than I could have. No, I'm showing you the ones where we spent a little bit of money. $245 reached 26,000 people. Remember, it's not about conversions and profit and how much we made, although we make, on average, 1,000% return on content spend. For every $10,000 we spend on content, we make $100,000. So again, $245 spent for 26,000 people reached. Here, we've got $725 spent. We reached 185,000 paid, but we really reached almost 300,000 people. We got almost 300,000 people that saw this for $700. Some of you probably spent more than that on the blackjack tables today. Over here, I'm showing you again, I just showed you videos of interviews I've done with billionaires and with different people of content we then ran on Facebook. You can do Instagram, you can do YouTube, and we run this content, we prefer Facebook, and we run the content to different audiences, and we become a micro-niched celebrity to 1 million people. We get 1 million people to know us, like us, and trust us, and then we're able to serve those people in a greater way instead of only shoving ads down people's throat. The only way they know you is because you're selling them. That's not a good look. So again, based on the people that engage with our content, we then remarket our ads to them only based on if you watch this video, then we pixeled you and you watch this video, then you watch this video of content, then you watch this video of content, then maybe a couple articles, then we put an advertisement in front of you. So again, it looks like this. Content first, incept the audience, get them to know you, like you, and trust you, and then based on how much content they've consumed, you then pixel them and remarket to them with actual advertisements. So the question is, what type of content should you be creating? Well, there's a lot here. You can do 60-second videos because the average watch time on Facebook is 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds is the average watch time. So I would recommend doing 60-second videos first because you haven't earned the right to take these people's time. Clearly, when the average of 2 billion people, the average watch time on a Facebook video is 6 seconds. So do your videos short. It's all based on the context of the platform. Ty Lopez said, do long-form videos on YouTube. That's YouTube. I'm talking about Facebook and Instagram. You can do interviews, authority alignment. We're going to talk about this. How do you align yourselves with authority figures so that you can be perceived as more credible? Either you are interviewed on high-level publications or you're being interviewed by high-level people. You can do how-to demonstration videos, showing people what you do instead of telling them. You can do swipe files, checklists, cheat sheets, blogs, guest features, and big publications. Edutainment or story-selling videos, quote cards, picture quotes, hot seats, video trainings, infographics, speaker reel highlights. I'm going to take this and chop it up and put it on the internet, which you'll see I did with my last Thrive speech. There's tons of content that you can be taking and putting out on the internet based on your business. If you're a visual learner, here's what it looks like. Take your business, your product, your service, your offer, shatter it into a million pieces. If I had time, I'd be going around the room right now and helping you guys out with this. But to make it simple, if I was the guy who created Thrive, if I was Cole, I'm going to take all 28 speakers, highlights, and I'm going to chop the best 30, 60, 90 seconds of their speech, and then I'm only going to run it to their audience. I'm going to take Ty Lopez's 60-second speech, run it to his audience. And then no links, no selling them on the next year Thrive. I'm just going to look at the metrics that are going to determine how often these people have seen it, the frequency score, and then I'm going to put another Gary Vaynerchuk from last year, and then another Grant Cardone, and then another, and they're going to start consuming a sequence of events of high-level authoritative content. And then, based on after watching 10 of the best speeches from Thrive, then I put an ad in front of them. So you break your business. This is Thrive. The business is having a bunch of speakers impact people. So I'd take testimonial videos, I'd take speaker reels, and I'd break it into a bunch of pieces and show people 30-second, 60-second clips. Here's my interview I did with Ty Lopez. I put $1,600 on it, and we reached close to 250,000 people with the organic plus this. But for $1,600, the video has 181,000 views, and we've made about $12,000 off of this. No, $15,000 off this video, about 1,000%. Here's my average watch time is 1 minute. I said the average watch time on Facebook is 6 seconds. How do we average almost 1,000% longer retention? Here's a couple quick things that you can do. Number one, authority alignment. Align yourselves with authoritative platforms, publications, and people, and then disseminate that content to that audience. I interviewed Ty Lopez. I aligned myself with the authority. I paid to put my interview in front of Ty Lopez's audience. Next one, content to consumer match or a message to market match, which basically means I interviewed Ty Lopez, the piece of content, and I put it in front of the audience, Ty Lopez fans. So authority alignment, content to consumer match, and edutainment videos. My boy Billy Jean was on the stage Friday. And I think he's probably the best example of people who have edutaining, meaning they're educating and entertaining videos that sell people to take action. Last but not least, a powerful hook. The average watch time is 6 seconds because nobody's doing a good enough job keeping them going throughout the video. So you can have a lot of different ways that you can get people to take action with mystery, with relevancy, making it contextually relevant to what's going on in your life so you have a reason to actually watch it. If the average watch time is 6 seconds, it's because people aren't keeping you hooked. They're not making it about you. So a couple more I'll fly through here. I took my entrepreneur article that says I'm one of the top personal branding experts and can do this for anybody, put it in front of my audience, the content that I've been running to audiences to see who engages with my content the most. And it's Ty Lopez, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, and Lewis Howes' audience resonates with my content most. So I put my entrepreneur article in front of them because they've seen my videos. My Inc. Magazine article I decided to put in front of Inc. Magazine followers. My speech from last year's Thrive event I spent $500 on. I reached 100,000 people. My Grant Cardone interview I recently did with him. Woo! He must be back there. My Grant Cardone interview, I put $100 on just for now, and it's already got 30,000 views. My Damon John interview from Shark Tank, I put $1,400 on this. Ironically, here's why you test. I put it in front of Damon John's audience, performed terribly. So then I added, who did I put on there? Then I added Ty, and Gary. Yeah! Woo! Love this guy. I got another slide with him coming up. He's going to like it. So long story short, always test, because the Damon John video did not perform well in front of Damon John's audience for whatever reason. I don't know why. So I added Ty Lopez and Gary on there, and it performed way better. And it reached 300,000 people for $1,400. It works with Facebook live streams. It works with my article in Forbes that I put in front of people. And here's a secret, guys. When you get featured in a publication, put a couple $100 on it, and you can become the #1 shared article on any platform. Here's 16,700 shares on my article on Influensive. I'm the #1 shared article on Influensive, a huge platform, only because nobody else, when they get featured in an article, uploads it and puts money to draw traffic to their article. They just hope and pray that Influensive is big. A lot of people will see it. No, you got to pay money on everything you do. If you believe your content is so good, your products and services are so good, break them into short-form content on every social platform that aligns with the context of where your audience is, and then pay to put your content out there and add value to these people. It works with basketball teams. One of our partners does the Golden State Warriors. He put $490 on here and got 9 million people to see it. Then, based on the people that engaged with it, he then ran a remarketing ad to Golden State Warriors merchandise. The people that watch Steph Curry make the half-court shots might be wanting to buy Steph Curry merchandise. Content, pixel, remarket ad. Here's media inception. You basically take a piece of content the media wants and serve it to them. I run my Forbes article, or whichever one this is, to people that work at the media. They're looking for content, stories, people to interview. Pay to put your stuff in front of them if you think they're going to like it, and find out what happens. Literally, anyone can do this. And in fact, one of my clients that I was doing a VIP day with said, Mark, you make it seem so easy that you could brand anybody. And so we said, who do we know that we could just prove that we can do this for anybody and make them a micro niche celebrity and reach 1 million people or whatever in any period of time? And we said, we know a guy named Jimmy Limestone who doesn't have a Facebook page, has never put a video or piece of content out there. And we said, if we can do it for Jimmy Limestone, we can do it for anybody. Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Limestone. We literally took a rock out of the hotel garden, took a picture of it, made a Facebook profile in 10 seconds at the real Jimmy Limestone. We made him a motivational speaker, so there's a little picture of him about to do his first speech, and we uploaded his very first video. We put $90 on it, and in 5 days, Jimmy Limestone, a freaking rock, reached 50,000 people. We literally took a rock out of the garden, made a Facebook page, and got it 50,000 views in 5 days. You can do this. It's so easy. Another example of media inception, how somebody took what we taught them, used $77 to put their video of them and their son in front of the media, leveraging the viral ingredients, and he got 70 million views for $77. How did he do it? Here's the ingredients. A viral video has to have these components. It has to be trending, emotionally provoking, entertaining or edutaining, controversy, and it must hit the tipping point. It has to reach enough people to eventually start to go crazy. It needs to reach about 500,000 to 2 million people before it will actually go viral, or one big person needs to share it, like the media. So remember, great content is not about going viral. Great marketing is not when you get your client and prospects to understand the features and benefits of your product. Great marketing is when you get your prospect to feel understood. Great content is not just about putting your content in front of your target audience. Great content is when the context of your content matches what your audience actually wants and needs. How many of you like to get Amazon boxes in the mail, even if you bought them yourself? Me too, it's okay. So I'm going to talk about some gifting strategies that'll make you stand out way more effectively. One of them is cash cannons. I love cash cannons. Grant already knows what I'm about to do because he has one. So get creative and have fun. Who wants to role play with me real quick? The clock's ticking. Let's see. Look at taking action. What a rock star. So imagine you use this as marketing instead. Your customer acquisition cost drops, your conversions go through the roof. Imagine you get this in the mail. Play with me here, brother. What's your name real quick?
Mike.
Mike. Everybody say, hi, Mike. So Mike gets this in the mail. He doesn't know what the heck it is. His executive assistant gave it to him. Mike opens the box, and right here there's a note that says, Mike, reach in the box. Don't pull it till I tell you. Reach in the box. Pull it out. It says, Mike, reach in the box. Careful. Reach in the box. Pull out the cash cannon. When I say, aim it high in the air. And when you pull the trigger, experience what it feels like to be a client of Mark Black. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. The money. Thanks, Mike. You keep it, bro. Give it up for Mike real quick. So, there's so many ways that can be more impactful than reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, let's have a call so that I can sell you on my products and services. Instead, now they got to pick up all this money at their office, and people are like, what the heck was that? And then you got a little note in there that says, hey, Mike, look, this was just a fun way for me to show you how we can have a conversation, exploratory conversation about how we can explode some cash into your business. Call me when you got 3 minutes. I'm telling you, from doing this, you will get way more people to reach back to you than you will from anything else. And not only from that, but it costs a lot cheaper. Exhibit A, Grant Cardone. Grant and I did an interview, and look, when you get to the level that Grant's at, he's done thousands of interviews. You need to have a little fun with the person. So I brought a cash cannon over, and I said, hey, let's just see what happens. Grant ended up loving the cash cannon so much that he didn't just use it when we were together. He ended up uploading all these videos of him having a blast with it. So, pro tip, don't just use fun, creative ways to market your business, but use them to stand out in interviews. There's an infinite amount of ways to be creative. I'm going to rapid fire some. You can buy this little box on Amazon for $6. Dear Billy, make the marble follow the Sharpie on the maze, and it will unlock your hidden gift inside. They open it up, the thing pops off, there's a $100 bill in there with a little note that says, this is just a fun example of how I'm going to show you a proven process to follow in your business to unlock hidden profits. Call me when you have 5 minutes. Instead of telling people that you're going to show them by being your partner you'll make money, have the balls to send them a briefcase full of cash because it makes people happy and it looks something like this. Pay them up front and say, hey, if you're going to end up being my partner, you're going to make a lot of money. I just wanted to pay you up front and show you what it's going to look like because I'm going to be sending you boxes of these all day. You can send people giant creative canvases. My dad is in healthcare. I helped him dramatically grow his business, leveraging a lot of the things I'm teaching you. He gets a cartoonist to mail 6-foot canvases that say, look, I listened to Craig Lack, and now I'm sitting on a pile of cash. And you get this giant canvas in your office, and then he comes in and has the meeting with you. And there's a little note on the back that's the call to action to set the meeting up. Here's some bobbleheads. You might recognize this guy. It's my boy Billy right here. These are some of my clients. We do bobbleheads. Here's a couple more. Where's Cole Hatter at? Cole, where are you at? I found. What? We got the mini. We got the mini Cole Hatter here. Cole.
I'll be like, gee, yeah!
This is just a fun, creative way to show Cole that I care about him, I love him, and I want to thank him for this. And he's an amazing example of what it means to make money and make it matter. He doesn't need to do this, but he does it for you. So let's give Cole a big thank you, guys.
You messed up the clock. You got 2 more.
Thanks, bro. No worries. There's so many fun ways that you can stand out. Bobbleheads last forever. People put them on their desks. I've given them to so many successful people, and they're always on their desk. It's a talking piece. Imagine a $200 talking piece. Grant Cardone has 2 bobbleheads on his desk. If you didn't see it, here it is. Mr. Cole Hatter, the mini Cole. Couple rapid fire ones for you. You can send an iPad. Just like your phone, you can pick the picture, maybe it's your kids. You can do the same thing on an iPad. You can put a picture of you like, swipe right here, and it's gonna unlock and show you a video I filmed for you, Mike. Then they unlock it, and all the apps are moved out of the way, and it's just one at the top, and it's another picture of you going like this, pointing at the one thing that they can click, and it says, click here, I got the special video for you, Mike, it's only 30 seconds. And meanwhile, they're like, this is crazy, what? They're doing it, they watch the video, and it's a little 30-second, 60-second video going, hey, Cole, hey, Grant, here's my message for you. And you deliver it in 30 seconds, 60 seconds. Instead of sending an email, having a phone call, stand out. You can send people shoes. You can call. Grant will probably love this. I'll use him as an example because he probably wants this. You call Katie, his executive assistant, and say, Katie, what's Grant Cardone's shoe size? I apologize for this, Grant, in case you get a bunch of shoes. You say, hey, Katie, what's Grant Cardone's shoe size? They say, oh, it's this. And you go, great. I'm going to send him a pair of his favorite shoes, maybe Ferragamos, red bottoms, the brand new Air Jordans or Adidas or Nikes, whatever he likes. She'll give you some feedback. You go and buy a nice pair of shoes, and you mail one of the shoes with a little note in it, and it just says, hey, Grant, look, here's one of the shoes that I got you. I just wanted to get my foot in the door. Call me when you have 3 minutes. I want to talk about X, Y, and Z with you. Literally 3 minutes is all it'll be. If I take more than that, I'll donate $500 to the charity of your choice. And here's already the check for $500, so you have it in case I go over 3 minutes. I've seen affiliate marketers say our #1 affiliate of the year will get a brand new paid in full Bentley. How many of you would like that? Make some noise, right? I'd like to get a Bentley just for being a good affiliate. But the good news is you don't even have to give away the Bentley until the people hit the benchmark that you put in place that's going to say, oh, this makes sense. If we make this many millions, we can easily get somebody a Bentley. You can go to Refresh Glass and get a bunch of custom wine bottles shaped in any way you want. Get a fancy wine bottle from your anniversary engraved. They'll chop them. They'll make them into cool cups. You can send somebody, if you have a meeting with somebody, you can send them a cardboard cutout, like big fat heads. Then you put all the football players up on your wall. You go to the same website, and you can get cardboard cutouts of you. You can mail these to the office that you have a meeting with the person. And you can literally have a cardboard cutout of you come in and say, hey, I just wanted to make a big first impression for our meeting next week. I look better in person, but I just wanted to show up and say I'm looking forward to meeting the team. And oftentimes there's going to be that big old cardboard cutout of you when you walk in for that meeting. Everyone's already going to know you. You can be presumptuous, and you can have the balls to send somebody a cash counting machine and say, hey, look, I just want to show you how confident I am that I know I can help you grow your business and add revenue to your bottom line, that I took the liberty of sending you this cash counting machine because of how much money I'm going to help put through it for you to count. I wanted to make it easy for you. Let me know when you have 3 minutes to talk about the strategy that I did my research on with my team to tell you how we can fill this cash counting machine up for you. Couple different things that I want to leave you with to remember as we wrap up. There's no magic pill. It takes work. Yes, we did it for a rock and we can do it for you. It is that easy. But the reason why nobody sells this stuff is because it's hard work. This is not the magic pill solution. It's not about you either. It's about serving. I see too many people trying to put content online, trying to build a personal brand, and they make it all about them. It's not about you. It's about serving. And as soon as you start paying money to just put your value-added content out there and make your money matter, if you literally believe your moral responsibility, that you have integrity, and you go, my product, service, business makes a difference in people's lives, raise your hand. Everybody's hand should be up. If you don't think your product or your service makes a difference in people's lives, then you need to get into a new business. Because if you do believe your product and service makes a difference in people's lives, then you literally have a moral responsibility to pay to put it out there into the marketplace in a way that does not sell. Nobody likes to be sold, they love to buy. Give them your value and your content up front, and then through a sequencing of retargeting and pixels, you can then know when to put your ads in front of them so they are ready to buy. Focus on being interested, not interesting. We've heard this before, but I see it all the time on social media. People are trying to get you interested in them. instead of showing you how they're actually interested in you. They care about you. They care about your success. The reason why this strategy of content and gifting works so well is because it shows that you care. Nobody's doing this. And I know that unfortunately a lot of you will probably take this and not do anything with it. I hope you do, but that's the way the world works. So I hope many of you take that to heart and you go out and you implement this stuff because it's that easy. You just have to do it and compound it over and over again, and the results will come. I want you to also remember that your financial income matches your value output. Y'all said you want to make more money. Start adding more value to 1 million people and become a celebrity to them. Everyone loves Grant Cardone, who's coming out later, because the guy is a beast for adding value. He's got like 4,000, I think he told me 4,000 YouTube videos. It's probably more than that now. Talk about being committed to serving and to adding value and making a difference. And he knows that when he adds that much value to the world, the byproduct of that is making more money. Last but not least, I want to leave you with, remember that where you are today does not determine your future. I used to be the punk kid at the top who got labeled as a failure in school from all my teachers, got kicked out for being a troublemaker, and now I have, through lots of personal development and growth and investing in myself, I have the privilege and the opportunity to impact millions of people every year, and more importantly, I have the privilege and the opportunity to be on stages like this and to be able to share with you not only how to make money, but how to make it matter. Guys, thank you.